Hey YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another remake video. Today we'll be remaking No Heart by 21 Savage, produced by Metro Boomin, Southside. So let's get straight to it. First things first, let's go ahead and set our tempo to 140 beats per minute. And I'm going to give ourselves a 4-bar loop. Now, anytime I sit down and begin a remake session, I always go to the original track and see if there's any sections I can actually sample and take bits and pieces. I don't have to remake that sound. And in this case, it kind of landed in my lap because there's only a 2-bar loop that pretty much repeats itself for the entire track. So I took that, sampled that up in sort of the strings melody section, and I'm going to bring that in right now. So I sampled this from the original track, and here it is right here. So that string section that you hear throughout the entire track. Why you trapping so hard? All right, so now that we got our main sound over there, didn't have to do much work, just took it from the original track, and sometimes that's okay. If you're making a remake, you can take sounds from the original track. Next, what we're going to do is going to build out the drums. Going to create a new software instrument track. Going to bring in EXS24 sampler instrument, and let's go ahead and bring in the 21 Savage No Heart drum kit I put together for this tutorial, and let's go ahead and begin working with our 808s. I'm going to draw in a region. Just going to boost the volume up a little bit more here. So there's our 808. Let's go ahead and duplicate this drum kit. And this time we're going to create the snare. And again, there's not too much going on in this beat. And that's what makes this beat so good. Sometimes songs really clutter itself, but this beat just really kind of keeps it simple and it really works well. So next, let's go ahead and put in that snare. I'm going to go ahead and find that snare sample. So there's our snare. I'm going to go ahead and put the snare in. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate this drum kit and bring in an open hat. Let me just find that. All right, so there it is right there. The next thing that we're going to add in is our hi-hats. I'm going to duplicate our open hat track. So we have another instance of our drum kit. I'm going to call this hi-hat. And what we're going to do here is just duplicate this for another 4 bars because the hi-hat pattern is an 8-bar length. I'm going to create another region for our hi-hats. And I'm going to go ahead and brush in 8th note hi-hat hits. Let's do this. So there's our straight hit 8th note hi-hat hits. But now let's go ahead and get some stutters in there. And this is where your grid play comes into play. Now up here I have different grid values that I can select. As you can see, the grid changes every time I change this up here. If you don't have this, you're going to want to go up to your transport bar and go to Customize Control Bar and Display by clicking this little arrow over here. And I'm under the custom version right here, so we go to Custom. Make sure that you have Time Signature and Division opened up, this thing right here, and then you'll be able to change your time value on your grid here. So let's go ahead and start some stutter edits right here. I'm going to change my grid to a 24th grid value, and we're going to stutter our notes at every little point here. Let's go ahead and stutter it up right here. So you get a nice little stutter over here. Then you'll put another stutter at the end here. Let's put another stutter here. Maybe we'll put a full length stutter. Now I'm doing this by ear and by memory. I'm not sure if this is exactly where the stutters were, but hopefully I'm getting it right. And I think at the end here, there's just a quick downfall stutter. So let's just change that up here. Go to a lower pitch of our hi-hat. And we're going to drag these out like this. And we get something like this. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in our kick. All right, so once again, we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this track right here to get another instance of our drum kit, and we're gonna call this kick. We're gonna put in our MIDI region over here for our kick pattern, and I believe the kick pattern was just 4 bars, so I'm just gonna loop that for now. Let's go ahead and open this up and change this back to a 16th division time grid value, and let's go ahead and draw in our kicks. I'm going to change this back to pencil tool. I think that's pretty much it for the kick pattern. Once again, this beat is very simple and it works really nicely. I'm going to change something up right here at the end. I didn't drag out the region to the full 4 bars, so kind of screwed it up here a bit. I think these got to be pushed off a bit. There we go, we got it right there. So this is our pattern pretty much for the track, and different elements come in and out, but this is what we got so far. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and switch up our 808s, because when these kicks drop into the track, the 808s pattern sort of switches up a little bit as well. So I'm just going to push these 808s back here, and I'm going to duplicate one of them here, and we're going to work off that. So during when the kick is playing in the track, our 808s get changed up, and we're going to do that right now. Actually, I'm reading the region instead of the track. Here is the 808s over here. I'm going to duplicate that track, and I'm going to move these over. I'm going to copy over one region. I believe the 808 drops here. So it gets sort of a pattern like that when the kicks drop in. It just adds a nice little change to the track, because the track is pretty the same pattern over and over, just some things come in and out, and this helps bring some interest to the listeners, if you will. So let's go ahead and start arranging this track over here. I'm going to use these strings for our intro part. The 808s and everything else will come in over here on the 9th bar. Our second 808 pattern is going to come in on the 17th bar, along with the kicks. And we're going to push this region over. And of course, let's go ahead and copy this over as well. Copy over the strings. And then it goes back to this pattern over here for the next 8 bars. And we get something like this. Next, let's go ahead and spice up this track with some of those producer tags. So the first one I'm going to drag in is the 808 Mafia producer tag, and one of them goes there, and the next one goes on this 808 kick drop. Next, let's go ahead and drag in the Southside tag, and that kind of comes halfway in on the intro. And I'm just going to push this tag a little bit back like that. And of course, the Metro Boomin tag. Metro Boomin wants some more, so I'm going to put that in here as well. Metro Boomin wants some more, nigga. So we get something like this. Metro Boomin wants some more, nigga. All right, last but not least, I know in the intro there was some crazy effects going on. So what I did right now is I sampled the intro from the original track, so we can get the song sounding as close as possible to the original. And there's no harm in sampling when you're doing a remake. I mean, you want it to sound as close as possible to the original track. And sometimes in a song like this, the samples just fall into your lap and it just works, just to take that little piece and pop it into your pop it into your DAW. So here it is right here, our full remake of 21 Savage's track No Heart.
Metro Boomin, want some more, nigga.
So there is the remake of No Heart by 21 Savage, produced by Southside, Metro Boomin, and 808 Mafia. For you Logic users out there, I am going to go ahead and save this entire session for you guys and place that as a link in the description box below. So load it up and you got yourself the session. For you non-Logic users out there, I am going to go ahead and save and export all these sampled elements from the original track. I'm going to give you this No Heart drum kit, as well as all the MIDI stems here for the drums, so you can create your own No Heart remake in your own DAW of choice. Now, if you do have a question on this, you can ask me in the comment section below. If you did like this video, remember to thumbs up and share it. And as usual, guys, hit that subscribe button for more great videos like this one, and I'll talk to you all soon. Later. Peace.